All right, welcome everyone. Welcome back to another live stream, 45D Weekly. As you may or may not know, my name is Nick, and I am here from 45 Degree Sailing, and we're going to go through our live stream today. Now, today's live stream is... We're going to switch through views just to go, wow, look at the beautiful location I'm in, and oh, this is Nick here, and we're ruffling his papers and things like that. And the answer to that question is... it's not actually what's written on my paper. It is the top 10 frequently asked questions about sailing in Croatia. So that's what we're going to cover today in this beautiful location here where I am. Now, I've got my questions all lined up on here, but I've only done half of them because I'm literally on the road to Dubrovnik at the moment. I've got to get down there and pick up the deck toast crew, spend the night and then get them up to the fly out. They're going to be flying out tomorrow. So sort of in the mode of moving along. So I'm just going to make sure that everything is working. That's interesting. My microphone doesn't seem to be coming up as the right microphone. And I've got a few dings coming through. So look, I hope you can hear you just very quiet. Actually, yep, so I picked that up too. Why is my microphone not registering? Let's see. Plug it in again. There we go. That should be much better. Throw a word in the chat if that is a whole lot better. While you do that, I'll try and find the chat. When I'm out, when I'm out like this, all my desktop, everything changes because, of course, I'm going to pause Dropbox. It changes because it goes from my desktop setting to plugged into the screens and things like that. So at the moment, I'm out here and I've just got to find the overlays to see where the chats are. The wind is loud. Oh, man, so many things that I've got to think about with this. Let's just, if I can find the windows with the chat, comments and reactions. There they are. Oh my God, new live. Who we got out there? Now, if you've been on one of these lives before, you'll know that this is a full-on interactive thing, so please get the questions in there. We've got, yep, are you ready? Excellent, like that from the team. Oh my God, a new live from Reno. He's watching as well. So if you're out there, it tells me we've got a bunch of people watching, which is great. So tell us where you're from, who you are, what you're watching, and throw some comments in if you've got questions about the live stream there. So I don't have my stream deck with all my buttons on it here. I'm just kind of out, and as you can see, the weather is 100% stunning, and I'm in a spot called Brieste. You can see this is my view out from my live stream today. Just an absolutely horrible spot, and I thought because I was here early I'd set up all my cameras so that you could see. So with that, I'm going to run the cutscene and we're going to get straight into it, but I've got to have to find the cutscene because that's something that I usually have a button for, and I don't have that right now. Let's see if I can pick it up. Otherwise, we're just going to have to go without it. Might have to go without it. That's just the logo. We'll go without it. Or will we? Yeah, it looks like we'll go without it. We're going to have a puppy coming on past us soon. So, there we go. No, we're done. Oh, hi. Where's he? Very, very, very beautiful dog. Just came past. No, I was too slow on the cameras to show you. Sorry about that. Anyway, we'll get there. I got my paper. Thank you. Okay, so we've got Mahina. She's watching from Trogir with Ro and Coco. That would be my daughter and my daughter's foster cat at the moment while she gets better. Graham Test is way better. All right, so it looks like we've got the sound on there. And yes, dude, this is a fancy studio location. This is what we do. We don't need a fancy studio because we have Croatia. So look, beautiful location. And yeah, anyway. Okay, let's get into this. So question number 1. Now I gotta find where I put my questions. All right, question number 1 in the top 10 most frequently asked. It's not really top 10. Oh, it is the top 10. The 10 most frequently asked questions about sailing in Croatia. We pull these off the internet as a completely unbiased thing to see what are people searching and asking the absolute most, and this is what we've got. So number 1 is, what are the best places to sail in Croatia? I mean, this one's good. I like this one. This is lovely. I like it because there's water and there's mountains there's blue sky, and there's beautiful, beautiful stuff. This is a really nice place to sail in Croatia. I think the whole concept of the best place to sail in Croatia is completely subjective. It's completely subjective because it's all about what you want out of your sailing. So if I say for me, okay, so if I say it's for me, what is the best place to sail in Croatia for Nick at 45 Degrees Sailing? And that's for Nick at 45 Degrees Sailing in a personal sense, not in a business sense. I love the area between Dubrovnik and Šibenik. This set of islands from Šolta, Brač, Hvar, Vis, Lastovo, Mljet, Korčula, this area, and the Alafites Islands, which are down here. I'm going to be driving past them soon. I love that area to sail for me. I love it for me because there is a huge mix of conditions. I can get wind if I want it. Man, it's really bright. The sun's just come out. Let's wind that down a little bit. A huge mix of conditions. So if I want to find some wind, I can find wind. If I want islands, there's a lot of islands, and very habitable and habited. Oh my gosh. You know, they're much more habited islands. So there is more going on there. And I like to be able to whip around one side when the north wind's blowing, whip around the other side when the south wind's blowing. So for me, the best place to sail in Croatia for Nick at 45 Degrees Sailing is between Šibenik and Dubrovnik. I love this area. Okay, now I'll go briefly, and I'd love to hear anyone else's comments as to their thoughts on the best place to sail in Croatia. But for anyone else's comments, I would say if you're into getting away from it all and really getting away from people in the summer or whatever it is, then the Kornati and north up there, that is way less crowded than the hotspots by Split. I've got comments coming through here. I like these. I like these. So I'll just shift that one up there over my face. And what do we got? Yeah, Mahina says, answer number one, anywhere in Croatia. It's 100%. I completely agree with this. Answer number one, yes. What is the best place to sail in Croatia? Yes. Okay, but I agree with these statements completely. So it depends what you're after. If you want more nightlife or more, it's really bright, that scene, isn't it? More nightlife or more action, tourism, and you know, stuff to do. You're going to want the more touristy areas, which is down by Split, Dubrovnik, Split, Šibenik. If you want that somewhere in the middle, that's going to be out of Korčula, Mljet, Lastovo, or it's going to be like Šibenik to Zadar, somewhere in there is a nice mix. Yeah, all of this. So there's no real one answer to this. So I'm going to move on from that. If no one else has got any other questions on that, and we'll try and get through. Now I know there's 10 questions, but you know, a lot of them are pretty simple answers. So along with that, today and the next couple of live streams are all about this whole AMA concept. Ask me anything. All right, we're going to be getting into the season soon, and these live streams are going to get cut down to something a little bit different, and we'll talk about that. But we're into this AMA right now. So if you've got questions, who we got here? I'll get rid of this first question there. Boom. And Lewis Mew, is that a French name? Or Louis? Thank you for this presentation. I'm very interested in your findings and opinions. Excellent. Thank you for joining us. I'm stoked you are here. And who we got here? Row B. Hi, in high season, how far in advance do you make a reservation in popular harbours, places for 4 boats? Make them now. It depends where you're going. It really depends where you're going, because if you get out to, I'm really warm in the sun. I need some breeze on me. If you get out to places that are huge hotspots and it's in the middle of the week where everyone can access those places, you're going to need a heap of time ahead to really be able to say, right, I've got 4 boats and guaranteed it, and you need someone on the ground. This is really hard. Whereas if you're booking it like Artsy Marina, any private marinas, I think we did a live stream maybe last week or the week before or something like that, which was about bookings and all this sort of stuff, and you can go back and watch that one. It kind of explains where you can do it. Get in now. All right, everyone's starting to open now, but ACI Marinas, if you say, hey, I want to bring 4 boats on a Friday night somewhere, you know, or especially on actually a Saturday night in Brač or something, book it now. Book as many of those things now as you can. But otherwise, if it's restaurants, you want to be in there once they're opening. I mean, high season is just, high season this year is, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. Now I realize that I couldn't run my cutscene, and I completely forgot to talk about the the couple of other things that are on the list. That's right. I'll come back to them. I'll circle back to them. That's kind of like my top tips about what's going on this season and where we're at, and I'll come back to that. But Sam's chiming in for row B, saying, "I'm going in 3 weeks, doing all the reservations now." Yeah, Sam, that is absolutely 100%. You need to be doing that. By the way, the TripIt app is very useful to keep track of all your different stops. Nice. Dude, Sam, if you can drop a link to that into the main video, that'd be great. Or on the live stream, whatever it is, so people can check that out, and I'll check it out myself as well. Very, very, very cool. All right, so number 2. Where's my button? I really miss I should have just brought my Stream Deck with me, but I can't have it all the time. All right, number 2. What is the best time of year to sail in Croatia? Very subjective. Very, very, very subjective again, because I'm going to use the Dectos crew as an example right now. And I'm going down to meet, and I've sailed with them for the last couple of weeks. They, I got some people walking past, and they're like, "Oh, what's that guy doing?" They have basically said, "We love this." They're sailing the last 2 weeks, and they sailed Christmas, New Year. They love this. They love not having to reserve. I mean, we still look places. They love there's no boats on the water. It's just absolutely stunning. And they're not even planning by choice to come back in the high season. Bought a boat in Croatia, and they're not planning to sail in the high season simply because they love it so much in this time right now. And we've been, with swimming, t-shirt weather. It's been cold as well. I've been through 4 seasons today. I drove through Dugapolia, and there was a big hailstorm that came through on another one of my clients is doing bareboat assist right now, and they just got hammered on the corner of Hua. It got hail 2 inches thick on the deck, and now the sun's out, and I'm in my t-shirt again, and I'm sweating. So again, it's subjective. So what do you want out of your sailing? What is the best time of year? You've just got to consider all these factors and figure out what it is you want from there. If you want hot parties, like hustle and bustle and all that, it's going to be mid-season. It's going to be July, August, early September. Okay, that's going to be your time. If you want still everything to be open and a little bit of vibe, but not super crowded, you're going to be looking at May, June, and end of September, October. Okay, if you're looking at cruising around the islands and not really having to outlay a whole lot of money, all sorts of stuff like that, and just be chilled out, then look, winter. I love winter. Generally, I say stay out of, just if you're going to plan, don't do March, because we've had some serious boarders in the last March. But in saying that, I did 2 weeks sailing in March, so that was great. So that's for number 2. Mahin has chimed in because, and I know what she thinks here, and it's absolutely true. But my overlays are, I've told you, the best time to sail is winter. We love sailing in the winter here. It's so calm, it's so good. So I hope that helps in some way or the other. Let's get rid of your comment. Excellent. So remember, throw those questions down. And since we've done number 2, let's jump on to number 3. Another very, very, it's just so warm in there. Very, very common thing to ask, which has a very, very broad answer. How much does it cost to charter a sailboat in Croatia? Anywhere from €1,000 a week, and we'll say sailboat, so we'll get out of the commercial cruise. So the highest thing you can bareboat charter, €18,000 a week. Okay, so if you look at the different types of boats that you can charter, we're going to be in at like a small 30-footer in the shoulder seasons that's available. You could get for €1,000 a week easily, possibly even less, somewhere around there. Okay, so if you want to come and sail, you could do it for €1,000 a week quite happily. That same boat in the middle of the season might be $2,500. Okay, if you take your average size sailing monohull and you say, right, how much does that cost? Just done a couple of these, which is interesting. So you can charter, say, a 50-foot. Let's say a Hansa. You can charter a 50-foot Hansa, and this is just the bare boat charter. Okay, just the boat, the rental of the boat, for the week in let's say April, May, or April now, because this is the lowest of the season and charters have just started becoming available. 50-foot Hansa that's relatively new for 2,000 euros for a week. Okay, 50 feet, nice boat. So 45, 50 feet, 2,000 euros for the week. That same boat in the peak of the season could be up to 7 or 8,000 euros. 6 to 8,000, or depending on the equipment and things like that. So it's not an easy question to answer. And again, you've got to think how many people, all that sort of stuff. But there's the quick answer to that one. Let's get rid of number 3. Okay, number 4. What are the requirements? What are the requirements in Croatia? Now, this was what the question came up as, but obviously they mean what are the requirements to sail in Croatia? Maybe that's what they meant. Into sail. Okay, I screwed that up, but that's fine. What are the requirements? The requirements are, if you're talking about renting a boat and skippering it yourself, and I'll ask Mahina, she's online back at home right now, can you please put into the link, put into the chat, the link to our, we've got a PDF which has all of the licenses that are accepted and what they're accepted for from the different countries. So if you've got a boat license, if you've got a charter, a skipper's license, anything like this, check out this list. See if it's on there. You'll also need a VHF license. So you need a skipper's license and a VHF license. You've got to make sure that license is an accepted version from office in Croatia. All right, I'm burning battery power here. I'm just going to plug it. I got this incredible thing because I went on a stupid catamaran and it didn't have an inverter on it, so I didn't have any 220 volt to charge. So I bought this brick and it charges my laptop. I love it. Anyway, neither here nor there. Is it charging? Yes, make sure it does what it says it does. So what are the requirements? You're going to need a skipper's license like that, or you can hire a professional skipper. There are other requirements could be considered around visas or traveling permits or whatever that might be. So you need to be able to enter the country. But that's for the most part, that's what it is. Any questions on that? The requirements someone mentioned you need to have. Okay, cool. We've got questions on this. So let's get rid of that text there. Put up Sam's message. What did he say? The requirements. Someone mentioned that you need to have SRC certification to use the VHF. The SRC would be a bit more extensive than a normal VHF license. So again, this list is on the PDF that Mahina is going to drop in. She's just put it there. Go 45 degree setting, bareboat charter, something. Yeah, that link and that one there. The valid VHF license are, so the shore-based course that they can do at the RYA. So going for the RYA qualifications, shore-based course is accepted. What's called the MROC, or your standard VHF certificate, is that you can do at Coast Guard New Zealand or Australia. This is accepted. What I did when I was younger in New Zealand was called an MROC, which was a Maritime Restricted Operator Certificate. This is the thing, you just got to find out what certificate it is, check that it's on the list, and make sure it's all good. But if it's an international VHF license, that's fine. You do not need single sideband or long-range radio qualifications for this. You just need the VHF shore-based course. And you can do that online and then go in and have an exam with someone. So if you want to know more about that, we can link to the online course below. So just like comment in the video, comment, I need VHF, and we'll send you some information. All right, and there is the link that Mahina's poked in there. Thank you very much, Mahina. And Rokura. This is how I sing to my daughter when I come into the room. So I'm wondering if she's going to react to this at home. Rokura. Anyway, I'm a bit of a dork. All right, question number 5. Man, I miss my stream box. Okay, what are the most popular sailing routes in Croatia? All right, the most popular sailing routes in Croatia are generally, in my opinion, Split to Dubrovnik over 7 days. Dubrovnik to Split over 7 days. Again, if you catch one of my previous live streams, which is Split to Dubrovnik 7 days, can you do it? And I tell you all about what I think about that route in 7 days. And that was a fun live stream, actually. I was parked at Miet with the Deckhouse crew, and we hung out, we drank gins, and we talked about these things and the different logistical things you get for when you're doing this this thing. Oh, Mahina just said Rose asleep. Damn it! I really wanted to know if that worked. Anyway, so that's that one there. I'm just going to back up 1 second on this question because Zen Designer came in and said, I have a pilot's VHF license for 16 years. Does that count? I don't know the answer to that question straight up. I would need to see the qualification itself to understand that, and I need to check that it was on the list. I would imagine no. I would imagine no, because it's not marine specific, but I don't have a pilot's VHF and I have not sat that test, so I don't know the exact stuff that's in it. I mean, it's got to cover Mayday, it's got to cover Pan-Pan, it's got to cover Security. I mean, this is normal VHF stuff, pilots doing the same stuff. And then it needs to be marine specific things for range and everything. I mean, it's all the same stuff. I hope it counts. I would imagine it does, but I cannot say yay or nay on that one, I'm sorry. Okay, most popular routes is definitely the split to Dubrovnik, or the split region, which really encompasses Trogir, Rogoznica almost, that's more Šibenik. So Trogir, Kaštela, Split, and around here. So a huge percentage of the charters in Croatia go out of this go out of this area. So those routes from there, the very common route is to basically just come out and do the 3 or 4 main islands, which is out of Split, Trogir or Kaštela, whichever, out of Split, go to Brač, then go to Hvar, then go to Hvar again, go to Vis, come back to Hvar, and then go back to Brač or Split. That is the most popular sailing route in Croatia, really, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's the best, but it's still a very good route. I'm like, it's a huge. I love that area. As I said, this is some of my favorite areas. So that's the most popular route as such. Now we're going to run into a small snag here. Is I'm either going to have to type these out, or I'm going to ask Mahina, because I've only written out 5 of them on my program. Mahina, can you prepare 6 through 10 so that you can just comment it and I can put it up on the screen? That would be great. Actually, 7 through 10. I'll do number 6 now. Oh gosh, I'm gonna call I've got an excuse because I'm driving or something like that. All right, the next one is, oh, that's easy. What are the sailing conditions like in Croatia? A stupid question. No, it's not a stupid question. I should be better on that one. All right, so number 6. What are the sailing conditions like in Croatia? All right, and for this, I'm going to go to my other camera. The sailing conditions in Croatia are like this. And a whole lot else. Okay, the sailing conditions in Croatia, Mahina and I, we couldn't agree where in the world we wanted to live after Wellington City in New Zealand, because we love Wellington City. It's our favorite city in the world. And the sailing greats there, all this sort of stuff. When we arrived in Split, Croatia, and started sailing the Dalmatian Islands, it was the first place we thought and agreed to each other that we both thought we could live here, because it has more wind, it has changing conditions, it has the sun, it has the sea, it has all these things. I had to give up surfing, but the sailing conditions in Croatia can vary from completely cruisy and easy with a 15-knot breeze and flat water because you're inside the islands, to what we got today, which was these storm cells just coming over, doing 30-40 minutes and dropping hail and stuff like that, and then gone. And then we can have the summer version of that, which is not dropping hail, but it's wind, 20-30 knots, bit of rain, and then gone. And then you're into clear weather again. In the winter, you can have the border, the northeast wind. You can have 50, 60, 70 knots in places, more in places. So the sailing conditions in Croatia are very varied, and they're just kind of awesome. I really like it. But the big thing to consider is, like, if you're considering against somewhere like the BVI or the Caribbean, something like that, is you've got trade winds over there that are always blowing one way, basically. And the windward side of the island is exposed to the swells of the ocean, the sea, and the leeward islands, the leeward sides are generally pretty flat. Whereas here in Croatia, you're inside all of the islands a lot of the time, if not all the time, and you can always get away, so you can have flat water almost whenever you want. So that's what the sailing conditions are like here. Mahina, can I have question number 7, please? And while she's thinking about that, basically, I wanted to get into this at the start because I know there's a delay and she won't get that for a moment. Is the season has begun really early here in Croatia. It's especially in Dalmatia. It's like, I was in Stardigard last week before. I've been saying last week for a week, so probably the week before actually, in April, and the place was full. So that the port of Stardigard was full. Now, they've still got the winter berth boats in there, so that's taken up a lot of lines. So they've got maybe 30 or 40 lines that they could use for boats. But that means we had 30 boats in the middle of April. In the beginning of April, actually, because it's middle of April now. The beginning of April, 30 boats. So it's kind of like, it's flotilla season, it's regatta season. This time, April and into May, is where there's less people around, so those flotillas or regattas that are going to cruise through, this is the time they do it. So there was 2 flotillas that came through, with one with 13 boats and the other one with, I don't know, 20 boats, something like that. So yeah, it's really hustling and bustling, and the season has just started. And as you can see, it's absolutely stunning. So, oh, she even did it from the 45D channel. Oh my gosh, my team. Big shout out to my team. I'm going to do the other camera for this. Did I press it? I did. Big shout out to the 45D team. You guys make my life so much easier, and the support is incredible. So thank you so much for being there on the live streams, being there all the time, and doing all the crap jobs that no one ever thanks you for. So let's get back to that stream. All right. Number 7, what is the process for clearing customs when sailing in Croatia? Okay. This is not a question I'm going to answer on this live stream in full detail. Okay. I've got a whole live stream dedicated to how to export your boat out, and including the customs clearance sort of process that you've got to do when you do an export of a boat for VAT purposes. So I'm going to do a very brief cliff notes of this, and it's going to take about 30 seconds. So Mahina, can you put in the next question, because that'll be very ready after that. Number 8. So what is the process for clearing customs when sailing in Croatia? If you want to leave Croatia and you're not going to a Schengen country, then you're within the EU, you've got to clear out of a clearance port, which is very likely going to be Dubrovnik, or Lastov, or something like that. Okay, anyway, you can clear out of anywhere, but as long as you go directly out. So the process is, you've got to go and visit the police, the harbour master. Okay, the harbour master and the police got to get a crew list and get that done by the harbour master. You've got to get clearance from the police and customs, and you've got to get that crew list stamped and verified. And then you might get boarded and get searched, however it might go. And then you have to exit the most direct line out of Croatia to that point. So especially in Dubrovnik, be careful that you do not exit inside of these small islands outside Savtat, because you can get fined for that. So you've got to go outside the islands, directly out to it. Or if you're coming out of Split, you've got to go out beyond Hvar and Vis, through that gap and away and gone. So that is the process. If you're clearing in, just like coming into any country, you need to fly your quarantine flag as you come in, and then go straight to the customs Q dock in Dubrovnik. That's labeled very easily. Split, yeah, kind of, but there's a number of those. You can get that information, and then do the whole process. Very, very similar. You clear in, you got to see customs, police, and the harbour master. All right, and you have to buy a vignetta at that point, so a cruising permit for the season, or the year, the calendar year actually, in Croatia. So let's get rid of that one. All queued up already. Thank you very much, Mahina. Number 8, what are the best marinas to moor in Croatia? I would love to hear from you guys. What do you guys think? Got a bunch of people watching right now. Tell me what the best marinas in Croatia for you are, because again, it's a subjective thing, but I can tell you what I think the best ones are. First one in my mind that pops up is Martinez Marquez in Maslenica on Sholta. I love this place. It's so well kept. It's very well run. It's very professional. They've got great restaurants. It's a cute little port. I think it's a great place, and it's expensive. You've then got a bunch of different ACI marinas around the country. Okay, they're good. Some of them are better than others. Korčula is very good. I'm not going to go through all of them, actually. That's a silly thing to do, but there's a lot of those. Their prices vary. They're not standardized prices. So something like Parmigiana and Sveti Clement off Hvar Island, south side of Hvar Island, that is really expensive. I think it's the most expensive one in Croatia. So yeah, you've just got to think about what you want, because in a marina, you're in a marina. Now, in Croatia, you've got a lot of what we call Lučka uprava, or port authorities, or the local riva for the port. So places like Starigrad, Luka Vis, Luka Kut on Vis, all through Slano. Like, there is so many of these. Vrboska. I'm going over 2 islands at the moment. But there's a lot of these Lučka uprava in all the small towns. I really like these ports because they're usually a little bit more in the heart of the town. They're just one long run. Often one long run, so everyone's just stern to. There's limited spots. You go along, you tie up, you meet some people, you eat at the town. I love it. I love it. So that's kind of my favorite ones are more like that. And then you've got restaurants and everything else. So best is going to be tough. Here we go. Graham T. My favorites were Vrboska, Brna, and Vis. There we go. Everyone's got a little different feel to these places, and what their favorites are. So it's, you've just got to be subjective on that and decide what you like. Go and explore the places. I freaking love Miet. There's a couple of places on Miet that I really love to go. Pomena. Pomena is beautiful. Whether you go on the Lučka uprava, the riva in Pomena, on this western end of Miet, or you go to one of the Konoba. Where goes to Konoba Galia. If you watch that live stream about the split to Dubrovnik 7 days, we are at that port. It's beautiful. So these are a couple of my favorites. There's too many. I can't list them all. I like a lot of them, but definitely I like the smaller feel. I don't like being in a marina, and if I need to be in a marina because of weather, then there's some really, really good strongholds like Arci Vrboska is good. So Arci or ACI. Arci Parmigiana is a very good hold, which is on the south side of Hvar. Really good hold if the weather's pumping through. And there's a bunch of them. And so actually, Juraj has just said Parmigiana. So this is one of his favorite ports. Juraj, do you mean south side Vinogradišće, or do you mean north side ACI Parmigiana? Curious. But yeah, it's a cool spot, and it's so accessible to Hvar Island. You can get water taxis across, so it's all a little bit different. Mahin has said Marina Punat on Kirk is amazing. Oh yeah, I spent a lot of time up there in the last 12 months because of a yacht console client, and it was really well organized. Just as you said, tidy, well organized, great. Yeah, and a great restaurant, and the service was great. I generally liked, and they're doing a lot of work there at the moment. Actually, you can check out those vlogs if you dig through all my vlogs. From the time I was up there, but they are putting in something like, there was a tonnage, a 150 ton crane or something crazy like that. But the entrance isn't super deep, so I don't quite know how they're going to do it. So yeah. Where's Mahin's one there? Great organized. Gavin said, no clue. I normally try and stay away from the marinas. Yeah, exactly. And it depends on my mood of all of that as well. Parmigiana 360 Motorsports, enjoying Parmigiana right now. Now, 360 Motorsports, I don't know that name, but curiously, what boat are you on? So I'm not giving the thing on there, because I've got a bareboat assist client, another 45D group that's in Parmigiana right now as well. So I don't know if that's you guys, or if there's another one that's watching 45D in there at the same time as well. But yeah, Parmigiana got absolutely smashed by hail this afternoon, which was awesome, and they did really, really well getting in. Jason said, I love Stormolska. Yes, actually, Stormolska. This is a really random little one. I only used to use this in the winter just for going over for day sails, but this is on the north side of Schulte. Schulte. Jeez. North side of Schulte. It's a super cute little place. There's room for about maybe 20 boats of that, a couple of restaurants. It's really, really cute. And actually, I just watched a movie that was filmed in Croatia and stuff, and they used that port for a lot of it, which was quite funny. Milna, Brač, yeah, that's a good spot. Milna's cool. It is you guys. Very good. Juraj here. We're on ACI Jut right now. Oh, cool. Very, very cool. David Llewellyn, he loves Parmigiana. He loves the Paklini Islands. Yeah, I know. David, where are you right now? Actually, are you still at Ogosnica, or are you somewhere else? So, look, and this is what Martin said as well. Look, this thing, there's marinas, and then there's bays, and then there's town quays, and they're all three different things. And, I like a mix of those throughout my week out on the water. I really, really do. Hail and thunder and Rogosnica. So yeah, I thought you were still there. Very, very good. All right, so that's we're gonna hit that on marinas. Mahine, could you throw number 9 in, please? And I will pull up any other questions we've got going on there, and I'm going to have a look at my other updates. And I love this shot, so I'm just going to use this one. Tell me if you're enjoying this shot. Like, it's just clipped onto the top of the van. So that was part of the thing about when I was talking about April being regatta and flotilla season, because this is what I've written down here, is more and more of our clients are enjoying off-season sailing with less crowds. Sure, the less stuff is open. I had to translate that because I'd written that in my note and with a little bit more profanity. But less things are open, but the water is still absolutely beautiful. The people are great, and if people are in for sailing, then you've got this weather. Like David, he sailed from Vis down to Rogosnica the other day in the 30 knots of Hugo, southeast we had, and he was so excited. Like, he had a great time. Or did you hit 9.6, David? Like, just with the Genoa. Like, that's an amazing run to do, and you get that sort of weather in the off season. So it's a big part of it. So you can enjoy that view. And I'll hit number 9 and say, what are the top attractions to see while sailing in Croatia? All right. I'll need everyone's help with this, and I'll give you what I think the top attractions are. Top attractions. And I mean, is that a tourist attraction? Is that just like what's really cool? I think, in general, the things that people are going to Google and get as top attractions to see while sailing in Croatia is going to be things like Modra Špilja, the Blue Cave. This is on Biševo off Vis Island, the Blue Grotto or the Blue Cave. This is gorgeous. It's a tourist thing. It's controlled and operated by the state, so you got to pay to go in. You can't take your boat in, you go on their boat. But this is a big thing. And I've never taken someone in here that was disappointed with it. I often say to people, they say, oh, can we go to the Blue Cave? I'm like, I guess we're just going to wait in a queue for a while, but it depends on the timing. So that would definitely be one of those. I've got to interrupt this broadcast because I'm going to remove that. If we could send you a pic from Toto's right now, you'd be sold. Oh, look, Toto's, these guys for the last 5 years have looked after Mahina and I whenever we go in there. We love that restaurant, the view. Send me a photo and I will somehow put it up on the screen for everyone to see. Yeah, I'll give it a go anyway. But yeah, Toto's on south side Parmigiano Vinogradisce. Beautiful, beautiful spot. So I'll take that. And yes, David, 9.6 knots of speed, wind topped out at 40 knots. I'm loving that you went and did that. And big, like huge ups to David. He did that solo. This is, he's out solo at the moment, and he's out there just really pushing it, looking at it go, just so cool. So proud. So proud. Kirka Park as one of the attractions. Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. Okay, that's getting my head rolling now. And that is a sailing in Croatia one. So sailing in Croatia, because I would say like Parklanica National Park and Plitvice, all these, they're not a sailing in Croatia thing. They're Croatia, other stuff. So you can sail to Skradin. Here's another attraction. On the way up through Šibenik and on the way to Skradin, you can go past what's called Hitler's Eyes, which is a submarine cave that goes right around in a loop. That's a pretty cool attraction. There's a number of sub caves in Croatia that you can check out. So hidden sub pens or whatever it is that they would park the submarines in. Those are super cool. The forts and the walls of the old towns, I think, are incredible. And like sailing around Dubrovnik, they're around the old town of Dubrovnik. Past Ston, just the south side of Vis with all of the turrets and tunnels and things that and caves that they've got for protecting during the war. Like Vis was a huge naval area. Vis Island itself is amazing. Lastovo being one of the least light polluted places in the Med or something like that. These are the attractions I think are amazing. The fortress, I think they call it the Spanish fortress, which is stupid, on Hvar is incredible to walk up there. So these are the top attractions, I think, while sailing in Croatia as touristy things. For myself, places like this, there's no one here. The oyster farms, sailing up to an oyster barge and just going, hey, I'll have a dozen fresh oysters. They shuck them, they give them to you, you hand your money over, and you eat them right there, as fresh as they could possibly be. The only way you could eat it fresher is eat it underwater. These are the attractions that I love. The fresh fish, the weather, the water. Did I mention the water? These are for me the top attractions. I think it's just absolutely amazing. And the island with reindeer. Okay, so, oops, let's put it on and off. Mrs. Anna has come in, Anna M has come in with the island with the reindeer. So last week I was at, I'll leave that. I think some people know that are in the comments, so I'll let someone else comment. What is the island that have reindeer on it? Which kind of just deer, but Chris, they call them reindeer. What is the island that has reindeer on it? Yeah, because that is a super cool spot. Kobash, yeah, actually, Mahina, that's a great point. Kobash is stunning. I've got to try and see if I can do this now. Kobash is a spot that's actually on the mainland. Technically, the mainland is on the Paljasjats Peninsula, and they have this cool little bay that drops in. There's a couple of restaurants in there, and we've spent a number of nights in there. Just really enjoyed it. Good people. There's a lot of history in that bay as well. I'm not going to go into it. You should look it up and go and see it from the wars and from the unrest and things like that. But it's a pretty incredible spot. So very, very cool place there. There's just so many. David said, is that the one with the zebras? No, it is not. That's further north. That's up close to Pula. Yeah, that's a different one. And Mahina got it first. There we go. Badja. Yep, we were just there last week. Sailed through, and I think I put a short up just in this last week about the reindeer and everything. Mahina is also there. Kukle, my favorite place in Croatia. I don't want too many people to go there, so I'm taking that down real fast. All right, now I've got to not let names out. 360 Motorsports just sent me through a photo. How am I going to do this? I think I can do it. Of their view at Toto's right now. I'm going to open it. I'm going to make it big, and I'm going to do a random share screen on Ecamm Live, and it's not going to work, and I'm going to end up doing something stupid. There we go. I've done it dumb already. Let's do current application and preview. There you go. Did that work? That did not work, Nick. It didn't work at all. I'll just tell you it looks really, really cool. But they're parked over there right now, and the weather looks absolutely stunning. I should be able to do this. Hang on. I'm gonna, since everyone's just faffing around listening to Nick anyway, we may as well just get this sorted. I'll save it on my desktop. I'll put it in. It'll be all going in a moment. But yeah, like these are the best places, I think. The types of places that I'm talking about is to see. These are the attractions that I want to see when I go sailing. It's not necessarily about going to the cities or this particular city or anything like that. It's just yeah, it's just enjoying Croatia. The coffee shops. I think this is another great thing about Croatia, is going to the coffee shops. It's just a thing. All right, where is it? No, I'm only going to give this 10 more seconds of me trying to work it, otherwise I'm just wasting everyone's time. There we go. 10 seconds is turning into 30 seconds. We're nearly there. I've only got one more of these top 10 questions to go, so I'd love to have any questions from you guys. AMA, ask me anything. I'm curious to see what people are interested in, and what they're curious about from this year, what's coming up, all of that. Why is that not working? I don't even know how to use my own system. That's annoying. But I asked them to send me the photo, so I really want to do it. Oh, I know why, because I was doing it wrong. Standard answer, Nick. Here we go. So this is what Motorsport 360 Motorsport is looking at right now in Vinogradice on the island of Sveti Clement, south side of Hvar and the Pakleni Islands. That is their view right now. Thank you for sending that through. That is super cool. That is super cool. Look at that. Look at that. How do I look at it? It's this way. I go, wow, look at that view. Hope that worked out. Anyway, gorgeous, gorgeous spot. And there's very few boats over there at the moment. This is the time to be here. Excellent. All right. Mahina also just said, staying at Palmina. Oh, yes. Okay, this is an attraction. Thank you. See, team. Mahina, you rock. Staying at Palmina or Polache and biking. So you can hire bikes there. It's all about hiring bikes on this island. And biking to the lakes on Miet. This is, yeah, so food-focused couch potato, and that was so cool. Super cool experience, like really, really fun, great for the family. It's a national park. It's, you know, it's just a nice, easy, it's all flat bike in the saltwater lakes, over the bridges and all this stuff, float through the lazy river. That's a really cool one, thank you. Where's the GNT? I've got to drive the rest of the way to Dubrovnik, and I hope, Quill, are you watching? I hope someone will have one for me when I get there. Gavin said, my question, can I keep the boat and stay? You know what? I'm sure we can arrange that. We can change you from a charter client to a yacht consultation buying client, and then you can keep the boat and stay. There we go. We did 25 millimeters of hail on the deck getting there. Yeah, I love it. That all took us by surprise. Those systems that came through, and they were incredible. Yeah, just amazing things. And then all of a sudden they're gone, and they're gone. All right, number 10. What are the local customs and traditions to be aware of when sailing in Croatia? All right, this is the most important one. One moment. Do you want the nice view? Oh, they're all nice views. All right. I'd love anyone to chime in on this because I'm always curious as to what other people take away from their visits to Croatia and things like that. Number 1. Pomalo, all right? Pomalo, this means slowly. Polako, it means slowly. They live very slowly here, and they like to do things just chilled out and relaxed, and it's great. So if you can adopt that, that's kind of a custom and tradition to adopt that. Don't expect things to happen like you're in the middle of Sydney City or anything like that. Okay, slow down. And on that, don't get takeaway cups when you buy coffee. Please, in Croatia, we sit and we spend time drinking our coffee and just chilling. And that's a big thing about Croatia. So immediately when you ask for a takeaway coffee, you're kind of like, it's like this huge forehead banner that says tourist. And it's nothing bad about that, you know, but it's going to be a thing. So coffee, don't get takeaway cups. We sit and we enjoy our coffee. And the other one I'm going to do, and I'd love everyone else to type it, is to say cheers or like whatever. And I apologize about the branding. I'm just going to cover the branding, actually. That's fine. To say, that's weird with a straw and a lid. To say cheers in Croatia, we say živeli. And when you do this, the person you're cheersing, you look in the eye. So if you say živeli here, and if you're going to say it to another person, all right, then you go, right, I'll now look at you, živeli here. And then if there's another one on there, all right, živeli, and that's how we cheers in Croatian. In Croatia, and that's really important. I've been talking a lot. That was needed. It's just water. I haven't got gin yet. But that's, you know what, that's the thing. So, you know, and I'll be completely honest about this, and some people will love me for this, some people will hate me. Tipping is not, I'm not going to say it's not customary. Tipping is not compulsory here in Croatia. It is always, everywhere you go, tipping is appreciated. But there is no, you must tip 20%. This is absolutely how it has to be, okay? We tip for good service, we tip for good experiences, and that's why we tip. So tips are appreciated. The wages here are not high. They are not, but it's just something to be aware of. It's not a every bit of bad service you get has to have a 20% tip on it like you are in the States or however it goes. So I just want to give people that information when I can. And on that one, Mahina says, make coffee a ritual. No takeaway coffees. That's absolutely it. And Gavin's going right to find a bank to rob then for that boat. All right. We've got a question here as well. Zen Designer, my questions. What are the good things, cities, to go starting from Sukushan? Okay. Oh, there's quite a few actually. There's quite a few. But if you're coming out of Sukushan, I need to sit down and talk with you to go over that, to see what sort of, you know, what boat you've got and things like that. You know, where you're headed, what the plan is for that trip. Look, I'll ask. We have an itinerary planning service, and when you plan for that, you can have a 15-minute call, basically for free, just to decide if you wanted to use the service. So if you want to book a call with me, we can sort of talk about what we might do in that planning service. It is a paid service. We'll go over the whole thing with you, but I can give you all of the spots that I think are really, really good to visit. The one I'll give everyone for free, it's not that I want to charge for it, it's just the time thing, I'll give everyone right now, is right up inside of the island. Should I show you? Can I do a map share here? Let me get the map up first. Inside the Kornati National Park, there's a map. Now we need to do a share. New screen share. That's not a new screen share, that's an old screen share. Gosh, I miss being at my own. Not the current application, Ecamm Live. Oh gosh, where is that? See if I can get it in on this one. They don't make things easy, do they? There we go. Okay, so let's zoom out of here. When you come up into this area, because for those that don't quite know, Sukrashan is right here. Okay, this is Sukrashan in the middle. It's just down from Zadar, north of Beograd and stuff. These are big charter bases here: Beograd na Moru, Sukrashan, Zadar, okay, and down here Šibenik and all that. So when you come up into the Kornati National Park, out from Sukrashan, I really like one, Valley Otok Ij. This is a cool island. It's just a very cool island, period. You don't need to know exactly where to go, but this is a cool island. Now, this area here is called Telashchica, and the cliffs of Dugi Otok, this saltwater lake and this area through here is just freaking awesome. I really like it. So that's the ones I can give you for straight up, and you have to buy a pass to go into these national parks and usually get one that covers all of them. But that is what I would suggest for one, but I just spend too much time going through all of the spots that I love up there. So I will need to not do such a thing. I apologize. So that's to answer that one. And okay, cool. Send me a link. Mahina, Mahina 45D team, could you please send a link for the book a call for him, and a link for the itinerary planning download so he can knows exactly what's going on there. Graham T says, I noticed that the restaurants did not want to. So yeah, restaurants don't generally want to split a bill. No, and it's not out of laziness. Okay, and I will go ahead and defend restaurants here. I've had to run bills and things like this, and the accounting system here in Croatia is horrid. Okay, so what they're up with, they cannot just go, right, I'll take payment, give me 40, and you know, and especially if it's cards, cash, of course, but to split things up into cards, they can't just go, yep, 40, 50, whatever it is. They have to then pull the whole bill apart, then they have to try and add the things to reach that amount that you want. They have to create a whole new bill. Now, if they've already printed the bill, okay, if they've already printed the bill, that is even harder, because, and often you ask for the bill and then they print it out because it's already been what's called fiscalized in Croatia. So it's sent off, and then they have to completely refund the bill and then go. So it is not an easy thing for them to do. If you're wanting to split a bill, please tell them when you sit down, hey, we would like to pay separately, or you know, something like that, or help them out. Everyone grab like a Wise or a Revolut or a payment app where you guys can do the split within you and then pay them one thing. Because also different credit cards are all different fees. It's just not an easy task in Croatia. They're not being stubborn and they're not being lazy. It's really freaking hard. So yeah, I'll just yeah, and yeah, he didn't. Yeah, so please, that's one that from someone in the industry. Normal in our part of Europe, but it should be split. Look, it's just, yeah, this is the Croatian system, so it's just not easy. Yeah, it's just not easy. So just take that into consideration when you're doing it, and if you really want that done, please tell them straight up. What I usually tell, you know, our groups is like, right, this person pays tonight, that person pays tomorrow. Obviously, it doesn't work all the same way, but that does make it tough. And Mahina said, yep, there's a function to easily split the bill on our first. Yeah, she's yeah, completely that there. And book a chat with you. He goes, oh, look at this. Oh, we got a super chat. Oh my God, this is awesome. Thank you, Zen Designer. Have a nice slow coffee on me. Dude, I 100% will. I'll take the team. The great thing about that is I can actually, for 10 euros, I can take the whole team. We can all get a drink for that in Croatia. So thank you. Well, almost. But no, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. So that is really cool. That's one of the first ones I've had during a live stream. And if this was helpful, if you really enjoyed this, and if it's helpful and you want to leave a super chat like that or leave a super thanks, thank you very much. That'd be great. Obviously, you don't have to. If you have not already, please like the video because that's going to help with our algorithm, and drop a comment in. If you're just sitting there watching, but yeah, look, that's pretty much it. We're coming to the end of it now. Now this is where the viewers go. So look, if you want to drop in a super thanks like that Zen Designer did, thank you so much. And there's the team already thanking you. Hvala vam puno, which means thank you very much. That's really sweet. And that's Graham back on the chat about the tipping. Yeah, have one person pay sort out between themselves. Yeah, but that is 100% the reason. So hopefully in the future it'll get easier. But at the moment, accounting in Croatia is a nightmare. I hate it. So look. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Yeah, drop a like. There's a couple of going in there too already. Thank you, guys. And if this information do you think is useful for someone else, please grab the link, share the link somewhere else. Share the link with people so they can watch it. And of course, the chat should be available. The chat replay should be set up to be available. And actually, I'll make sure the team can just double check in the back end of this video that it will be available on replay before I shut down. And send it off to people if they like it. Thank you so much for joining us. There's a huge rise at the moment for us here in private training. So if you're interested in private training, and especially in the off season, because this is the greatest time to do it, let us know. Jump onto the website and check out what we're doing. But look, thank you everyone for joining us. It has been a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed this, and I hope you've enjoyed our setting. I should almost drive down here each week. This has been really nice. And there's no one here. We've had like 4 or 5 people walk past in the time that I've been here. So look, anyway, thank you so much, everyone. We will see you in the next live stream next week. If you're a boat owner, if you're interested in the environment, this is a really cool one. Next week, we're meeting with a product, an owner and a CEO of a product for boat cleaning, which is 100% eco-friendly. And I'm gonna blow this up as much as I can. We're interviewing him in his zone. He's gonna tell us all about how this is 100% good for the environment and it doesn't hurt. And it's even gonna cut down on bottles. It's gonna cut down on plastic waste and all this sort of stuff. And I'm really excited about this. So that's next week's live stream with us here at 45D Weekly. And I will be in their whole workshop where they do all the stuff for the non-chemicals. Like this stuff, this stuff is so safe and clean, you can drink it. So that's next week's live stream. There you go, Mrs. Anna. I got it before you got it in there because of the delay. Excellent. So that's next week's. Sign up for that one. We'll get it out ASAP. Great stream and info once again. Thank you very much, Graham. Borg, David. There we go. Vidimo se uskoran. Thank you very much, everyone. I'm going to now drive to Dubrovnik and get that gin and tonic. Oh, but I might just sit here for 5 minutes because it's lovely. All right. Bye.